Hello everyone, this is the fifth lecture on study of compounds, and in this lecture we are going to discuss nitric acid. So let us start with the occurrence of nitric acid. So nitric acid was initially known as aqua fortis. So it is generally not asked in exam. So initially it was known as aqua fortis. Now we will talk about the occurrence of nitric acid. So nitric acid may be found in the rainwater because of this phenomenon. So the nitrogen present in atmosphere will combine with oxygen present in atmosphere during the lightning discharge. So during lightning discharge, nitrogen present in atmosphere will combine with oxygen and will form nitric oxide. So this is nitric oxide, because nitric oxide further oxidized due to the oxygen present in the atmosphere, and it will form nitrogen dioxide, and finally nitrogen dioxide combines with moisture present in atmosphere in the presence of oxygen, atmospheric oxygen, and finally it forms the nitric acid. And therefore during the rain this nitric acid falls down on the earth. So therefore you can find traces of nitric acid in the rainwater, because the first reaction, that is reaction of nitrogen and oxygen, it does not take place in ordinary conditions, because nitrogen is not highly reactive gas, it is inert gas. So in general conditions, in normal condition, nitrogen does not react with any other gas, but during lightning discharge it will react with oxygen and will form nitric oxide. So therefore nitric acid is formed due to this phenomenon, and the nitric acid is found in traces in rainwater. So this is the free state of nitric acid. So the nitric acid is found in free state as well as in combined states. For example, in salts of potassium or sodium, so sodium nitrate, potassium nitrate, or calcium nitrate. So nitric acid is also found in combined state. Then the next is preparation of nitric acid. So first we will talk about preparation of nitric acid in laboratory, and then we will talk about the industrial preparation of nitric acid. So let's see how do we prepare nitric acid in laboratory. So first of all we will see the reaction. Generally in laboratory we will use a non-volatile acid, and that non-volatile acid is sulfuric acid. So we use concentrated sulfuric acid, and we can react concentrated sulfuric acid with potassium nitrate, or we can also react concentrated sulfuric acid with sodium nitrate. So we will heat concentrated sulfuric acid or potassium nitrate or sodium nitrate. Now it will form KHSO4, that is potassium bisulfate or sodium bisulfate, along with nitric acid. So this is how the nitric acid is prepared in laboratory. So let's see it in details. So this is the complete arrangement. It is heated in a retort, and sulfuric acid and potassium nitrate, instead of potassium nitrate you can also use sodium nitrate, is heated below 200 degrees Celsius, and then the steam of HNO3, because nitric acid is volatile while sulfuric acid is non-volatile, so steam of nitric acid is collected somewhere else by applying cold water in it. So cold water, we use cold water to cool the steam of HNO3, and on condensation we get the liquid nitric acid. So this is how we get the liquid nitric acid. So the phenomenon is quite clear. During the heating this reaction will take place here, then steam of nitric acid will be formed, and the steam will pass, and then it is collected by condensing it. And how do we condense it? By applying the cold water. So you can see the complete process. Now there are some precautions that you have to take. One is the temperature. Temperature should always be less than 200 degrees Celsius, because if the temperature is above 200 degrees Celsius, then this reaction will take place. KNO3 plus H2SO4, that is above 200 degrees Celsius, and it is going to form K2SO4 plus 2HNO3, and K2SO4, or in this case it will form Na2SO4. So sodium sulfate or potassium sulfate, it stick to the retort, and then again the high temperature will be required to heat it, which may damage your apparatus. The next is, the apparatus should be made of glass. We can use glass here as well as here, so we have to use the glass apparatus. We cannot use the material like rubber, because the vapor of nitric acid is highly corrosive, so it will react with other substances. It does not react with glass easily. So these two precautions must be taken. The next precaution, that is, we cannot use HCl, hydrochloric acid cannot be used instead of sulfuric acid, because if we will use hydrochloric acid, it will result in the formation of the vapor of HCl, because HCl is also volatile, so the vapor of HCl will also be formed, and therefore here we will collect HNO3 as well as HCl, and it will be very difficult to separate HNO3 and HCl from this mixture. So therefore we cannot use HCl. We can use H2SO4, because H2SO4 is non-volatile while HCl is volatile. You have to remember one more point, that the HNO3, that is nitric acid, that we get here is slightly yellow in color. So the question may be asked, why the nitric acid is yellow in color? So that is because of decomposition of nitric acid. You know that nitric acid is not highly stable, so it will form nitrogen dioxide plus H2O plus O2, and because of the formation of this nitrogen dioxide, it will appear yellow. So the question comes, how can we remove this yellow color? So to remove this yellow color, you have to remove this nitrogen dioxide present in HNO3. So you can use two methods. Either you can pass air or carbon dioxide. So if we will pass air, air will combine with nitrogen dioxide, and nitrogen dioxide can be removed from the nitric acid. So therefore its yellow color will be removed. Carbon dioxide further oxidizes nitrogen dioxide to HNO3. So carbon dioxide can also be used. One more method can be used, that is by dilution. So you can dilute the nitric acid. So on dilution, again it will convert into HNO3. So we can use these methods to remove its yellow color. So this is the laboratory preparation of nitric acid. The next topic is manufacture of nitric acid, and the manufacturing of nitric acid is done with the help of Ostwald's process. So Ostwald's process is used for manufacturing of nitric acid. So you can see in Ostwald process, first of all we use ammonia and air. So mixture of ammonia and air is passed to catalytic chamber. So this is the first step. So in step 1, the ammonia and air mixture is passed to catalytic chamber. So in catalytic chamber we have platinum gauge, and in the presence of platinum, ammonia reacts with oxygen present in air, and it will form nitric oxide. So nitric oxide is formed in the first step. So you can see platinum gauge. Platinum is used as a catalyst, so that is why it is known as catalytic chamber. So in catalytic chamber, this reaction will take place. So we have nitric oxide here. Now nitric oxide is cooled by passing nitric oxide through cooling pipes. So nitric oxide is cooled, and then nitric oxide is passed to this oxidation chamber where it combines with oxygen. So further it will react with oxygen. So nitric oxide will react with oxygen and it will form nitrogen dioxide, that is NO2. So you can see the reaction here. Then when nitrogen dioxide is formed, so the nitrogen dioxide is passed to absorption tower. So this arrangement, this is known as absorption tower. So in absorption tower, water is sprayed from the top, and this reaction will take place. Nitrogen dioxide with oxygen and sprayed water, it will combine with it and it will form nitric acid. So because of lot of water, it will result in the formation of dilute nitric acid, and the remaining waste gases will be removed from the top. Now you can see we are using quartz pieces here. So quartz pieces are used to provide the resistance for the flow of nitrogen dioxide from bottom to top. So when nitrogen dioxide that is obtained here, so nitrogen dioxide will move towards the top. So quartz pieces are used so that the nitrogen dioxide may be passed upwards very slowly. So to provide the resistance for the flow of nitrogen dioxide upwards, we use quartz pieces, and it will give the time for nitrogen dioxide to combine with water which is sprayed from the top. So this is water sprayed from the top. So this is how we manufacture nitric acid in industries. So this is the whole process. So as you can see, in this process dilute HNO3, that is dilute nitric acid, is obtained. So we can concentrate this dilute nitric acid up to 68% by distillation. So we can use distillation to make it 60% nitric acid. At 68% it will form constant boiling mixture, or you can say constant boiling mixture or azeotropic mixture. So above this concentration it will form azeotropic or constant boiling mixture. So you cannot get above 68% concentration of nitric acid by distillation. So you have to remember this point. If you want to obtain the concentration above 68%, you have to use the distillation in the presence of sulfuric acid. So this is all in this lecture. If you have any queries, you can ask your questions in comments. Thank you very much.